Ajit for having spoken and very constructively. Now I request our from Tamil Nadu, MDMK party is one of the most important parties in Tamil Nadu. Its youth wing leader and is a popular leader and organization secretary of MDMK, Comrade Durai Vaiko will address.
Dear comrades, youth leaders representing various political organizations, good afternoon. I thank Mr. Thirumalai Raman, General Secretary, Mr. Sujinda Mahesari, President, Mr. Harish Bala, National Secretary, and other office bearers of the All India Youth Federation for giving me an opportunity to express my views about the challenges faced by the youth of this country. I come from the land of Thandai Periyar, Peraringer Anna, the birthplace of the Dravidian civilization, where most of us don't know the language of Hindi, and I am not ashamed of it. The greatest threat faced by today's and tomorrow's India is the rise of the right-wing forces that threaten the basic foundation of our constitution, which are freedom, equality, and fraternity. There is no future if a country's citizens are denied freedom, equality, and fraternity. The Bharatiya Janata Party government at the center speaks of Ek Bharat, Shrestha Bharat, that is one India, great India. We all believe in it and wish for a greater, stronger India. How I wonder if the BJP government is seriously working towards a stronger, greater India, or is it mere sloganeering? Since I have come across numerous Sangh Parivar narratives, I'm sure if you look at the Sangh Parivar dictionary, one nation would indicate one Hindutva nation, one Hindi language, and one Sangh Parivar culture. There is no space for diversity, no room for other regional languages, no room for the Dravidian culture, no room for other cultures of this beautiful country. I'm sure the Hindutva ideology would not have a proper explanation of the concept of unity in diversity, which is the basic foundation on which our country stands. Without a solid foundation, you'll have trouble creating anything of value. You can't build a great building on a weak foundation. Our Prime Minister, Modi ji, says that he will make India the greatest nation. But without considering the principle of unity in diversity, all such tall claims are akin to building castles out of thin air. We attained our freedom after decades of struggle, sacrifices of our forefathers. Nearly 76 years ago, the founding fathers of our republic, Mahatma Gandhi, Pandit Nehru, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Baba Saheb Ambedkar, and so many others steered the nation, new nation, into a direction which would ensure that it wouldn't be destroyed by religious sectarianism, casteism, and authoritarianism. But sadly, since the 2002 Gujarat Godhra riots and the recent Manipur conflict, The BJP government has been sowing the seeds of division, that is religious sectarianism, authoritarianism and casteism. It is very sad that we are destroying the foundation that built this country. It is high time that the youth of this country are sensitized about this grave danger posed by right-wing forces. The only and sole objective of the Sangh Parivar organizations are to spread the Hindutva ideology throughout the country by capturing political power through their political front, the BJP. Hence, the true intent of the BJP government is not about Ek Bharat, Shrestha Bharat. It is not about nation building. It is not about creating a stronger country. It is not about equality, fraternity and freedom. It is all about divisive politics. It is all about the Hindutva ideology. Our Prime Minister Modi ji, while inaugurating the Surat Diamond Bourse building last week, says that or claims that India has moved from the 10th position to the 5th largest economy in a span of 10 years. He also says India will become the 3rd largest economy during its next term. But I'm sure the ground realities totally contradict the tall claims of our Prime Minister. The inflation is above the tolerance limit prescribed by the RBI of 4 to 6%. Inflation during last year was around 6.2% and currently it's around 5%. Unemployment in the country is at a historical high. The unemployment ratio during the current year is around 7.6%. Unemployment ratio among graduates under the age of 25 is a whopping 42%. That is, 1 out of 4 graduates under the age of 25 is unemployed. The unemployment ratio among graduates under the age of 35 is around 9.8%. That is, 1 out of 10 graduates under the age of 35 is unemployed. The CMIE, the Center for Monitoring India's Economy, states that the labor force participation rate, that is the share of the working age population that was working or seeking employment, was a miserable 39.5% in 2023. It is worse than the pandemic years. Such is the state of the country. The textile and apparel industry, which is the country's second largest employer of 45 million direct jobs, is under dire straits. Tirupur, an important apparel hub in our state of Tamil Nadu, has lost its share in the global apparel market significantly. They have reduced 40% of their workforce. We all know the price of essential commodities have risen drastically during the last 10 years. The steep hike in the fuel prices have contributed to this inflation. We know the international crude oil prices are linked to the price of petrol and diesel in our country. In 2014, when the international crude oil prices were around $105 per barrel, the price of petrol was rupees 72. The price of diesel was rupees 55. Today, the international crude oil price is around $80 per barrel. But the price of petrol is 102 and price of diesel is around 94. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make logic. When the international crude oil prices go up, of course the prices go up. But when they come down, the prices of petrol and diesel should have come down. It has not. The price of domestic cooking gas, which was around rupees 400 per 14 kg cylinder, had risen to rupees 1,100 during 2023. Keeping in mind the recently concluded assembly election in 5 states, the BJP government had reduced it to around rupees 900. The gross domestic product or GDP of this country in 91-92 was a mere 25 lakh crores. It rose 100% to touch 50 lakh crores during 2003 and 4. And from there, it again increased by 100% to touch 100 lakh crores during 2013-14. Today, it is more than 200 lakh crores, our GDP. But has this economic growth percolated into all sections of society? Sadly, it has not. The bottom 50% of our population, that is the working class, they have less than 3% of our nation's wealth. The top 5%, the elite, they hold 60% of our nation's wealth. It is clearly evident that the corporates like the Ambanis, the Adanis, the Essars, they have benefited. But the common man, the working class, the farmers, they have got nothing but piling miseries and debt. A classic example is the meteoric rise of Adani's net worth. It rose from 2.6 billion from in the year 2014 to around 112 billion in a span of 9 years, perhaps a world record as the world's fastest earning billionaire. I would like to quote the former US President, Mr. Barack Obama. He made this remark during his presidential inaugural address on January 20, 2009. He says, question before us is whether the market is a force for good or ill. Its power to generate wealth and expand freedom is unmatched. But this crisis has reminded us that without a watchful eye, the market can spin out of control. And that a nation cannot prosper long when it favors only the prosperous. The success of our economy has always depended not just on the size of our gross domestic product, but on the reach of our prosperity, on our ability to extend opportunity to every willing heart. This message holds good for all nations, not only, especially India, where the common man has been deprived of every opportunity to prosper. We know of farmers, every day we come across news, farmers committing suicide because of farm loans. We come across parents of underprivileged students committing suicide because of education loans. We come across news items about how the banking sector harasses the common man for repayment of loans. But the very same banking sector has written off more than 14 lakh crore corporate loans. I repeat, more than 14 lakh crore corporate loans belonging to big industrial houses have been written off by the banking sector during the last 9 years of the BJP government. I would like to conclude my speech right now by quoting the great Martin Luther King Jr. He says, if we are to have peace on earth, our loyalties must transcend our race, our tribe, our class, and our nation. And this means we must develop a world perspective. In short, for us to have peace and prosperity, we must have brotherhood, we must have fraternity. Sadly, the right-wing forces, divisive forces, have caused misery, anguish, and suffering to the entire human race all over the world. The right-wing Buddhist forces in nearby Myanmar have butchered more than 30,000 Rohingya Muslims and displaced lakhs of them. The right-wing Islamic fanatics like the ISIS and Taliban have killed lakhs of their own countrymen and they have subjugated women in their own country. The right-wing Sinhalese, they have committed genocide of the Sri Lankan Tamil population. Adolf Hitler, with his right-wing Aryan ideology, massacred more than 60 lakh Jews. We have our own right-wing Hindutva forces who have caused enough bloodshed in our own country. History gives us a knowledge about the past. From history we can know about the wars fought, about the victories, about the losses and the tragedies. History gives us a broad insight about the lives of the good leaders and also the tyrants and the fascists. To have prosperity and peace, history teaches us what ideologies to follow and what not to follow. History teaches us true people leaders are in the likes of our Mahatma, a Nelson Mandela, a Abraham Lincoln, a Baba Saheb Ambedkar. Let us all remember that India is not the land of the Savarkars and Godses. It is the land of the Mahatma. where hope prevails over despair, where love prevails over hatred, where equality prevails over inequality, where fraternity prevails over hostility, where freedom and liberty prevails over bondage and subjugation. Vanakkam, thank you for the opportunity.